But the Brooklyn Nets offseason, so they did end up losing. They got swept. Not she did, but Tevin got the broom out. They did get swept by Joel Embiid and the 76ers, which, by the way, I give them credit for handling business even without Joel Embiid. Brooklyn was up during that game, and then the Sixers just came back and said, nah, we seen Melton go ham, Maxey go ham, Tobias Harris go ham. So shout out to the Sixers for doing that. But Brooklyn Nets, man, they acquired Mikal Bridges. Well, really, this whole season in general was just a drama for them. It was a soap opera. So they traded Kevin Durant, obviously. They traded Kyrie Irving. They acquired Ben Simmons prior to the season, and Ben Simmons ain't played, even despite the reports of him saying that, or them saying that he'll get better. He's ready to attack the offseason. I ain't here to talk about Ben Simmons right now. I'm still on my hiatus. Please respect my privacy. So yeah, man, the Brooklyn Nets, they don't have a lot of cap space. They do have something in Mikal Bridges. They do have something in both Cams and Den Shitty, according to Kyle Kuzma. But what do y'all think that Brooklyn needs to do in order to get better for the future, whether it's short term or long term? I know me personally, it could be the Grizz fan to me, but I feel like because they don't have cap space, they don't have means to get better immediately to compete. And so what I would do is I would try to get as many draft picks as I can, and I would go full-fledged Oklahoma City Thunder. I mean, you're not going to get as much support as the New York Knicks, just being in the same market as them. Nobody really care about the Brooklyn Nets like that out there. I mean, if y'all can move back to New Jersey, that'll be cool. But I'll blow it up. I'll trade Mikal Bridges while the value is high. That's a we talk about LBR, amendments. We're talking about through the Hardaway. Like, hey, when the value is high, go trade that player, because if you can't compete, just get rid of them, get first round picks, however you're gonna do it. But I personally would blow it up. I would trade Mikal Bridges, and I would just get young players and try my best to at some point I'm gonna hit on those draft picks. If I'm Brooklyn, trying to be like the Oklahoma City Thunder. But what do y'all think that Brooklyn should do in the offseason?
I like what you said. I think they definitely should, because they were in the playoffs because of Kevin Durant. I mean, if we're gonna be real, and even if they were to keep Mikal Bridges, I think Mikal Bridges will be one of those players who's on a bum team but can find his way in an All-Star game. Like that's what kind of potential he got, especially in the Eastern Conference on that team. I'm a big fan of his, but I would love to see him help another team elevate, i.e. the Grizzlies. Because like I said, he can do it all. He's one of the better two-way players in the game, and you can definitely, while the value high, you can definitely get as much for him literally right now as you can, especially over the summer. Then I think you will, I guess, in a couple years from now, because then you're gonna have to pay him. He's gonna be an all-star, so you're gonna have to keep him on your franchise. Go ahead and get him away now before he get that all-star title, because if he stays, like I said, on this team, I think he will be. Outside of that, they got to figure out who wants Spencer Dinwiddie. Because what I saw is like he had 16, 15, and he didn't score again or something like that. Like, I always bet the under 20 points. He ain't gonna get you no 20 points. And if he do, go check outside. Jesus may be coming back. But like, he just so inconsistent to the point where if you're in Brooklyn Nets team, is that the point guard of the future that you want? You know what I'm saying? I can literally I could have started this whole, random with one word, which is tank. That's what you want to do if you're the Brooklyn Nets. You don't know what's going to happen with Ben Simmons. You do got Nick Claxton, who could potentially be a, top 3 candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, because I like what I see with him. But you're going to have to get talent around that as well. So if you don't, even coming off the bench, you can get some pieces for Steph Curry too. Joe Harris, I told y'all should have been got rid of Joe Harris when the value was high, and they didn't, and they're in the situation they're in right now. So they do definitely have a lot of tradable pieces. If I were the Nets, I'll go Utah Jazz mode, like you said, and get as many pieces as I can, and tank. Oh, I'm sorry, play competitive basketball.
You're gonna mess around and get fined, my guy.
Play competitive. Just be competitive.
Walking Wolf, y'all, I've already said, man. First and foremost, I just looked at the 2023-2024 breakdown for the Brooklyn Nets. Salary-wise, we all know the highest paid player is the same player who may or may not play a single game for the Brooklyn Nets, and that is Ben Simmons. So I'm just going to run through this a little bit, right? Ben Simmons at $38 million. Mikal Bridges, $22 million. Spencer Dinwiddie, $20. Your guy that you just mentioned, Joe Harris, collecting $20 million next season. Tell me how impactful was he this year? Terrible. Dorian Finney-Smith collecting about $14 million next season. All right. Nick Claxton, DPLY candidate, $10 million. That's not bad, honestly, but he kind of fizzled out. Royce O'Neal, he's looking to get about $10 million as well. Patty Mills, 7. Cam Thomas, 2. Sharp is about 2 as well. Now, cap holds, right? That doesn't mean that they can make it or not. Cam Johnson is expected to make $18 million. Seth Curry, not Steve, not Steph, at $17 million. By the way, these people are still paying next year. LaMarcus Aldridge, Wilson Chandler, Mike James, if y'all remember him, as well.
Mike James
is still getting money, $2 million. Each player I just named, LaMarcus Aldridge, Wilson Chandler, and Mike James, are all getting $2 million next season. By the way, so I hear what we're saying.
Damn. Mike James, when was the last time he played?
Different Mike James, not the old one from the Rockets.
Oh, the light skin one.
I'm about to say,
Mike
James from the Rockets.
Ooh, thank you, Savage. Thank you. Light skin guy. Okay, light skin. I forgot about him. Okay.
But still, to like, you look at that salary and then the makeup of that team. Now, don't get me wrong. Play some meaningful basketball to themselves after the trade deadline. And to your point, to everyone else's point, this team is not in the playoffs without KD and Kyrie. Yeah. Okay, we're going to say both because there were games where KD didn't play and Kyrie carried them. This team, as constructed, even in the East, at best, may be a 10th seed in the play-in. At best. Even with the progression of Mikal Bridges, because Mikal Bridges' progression from the day he's been drafted, getting traded to now has been phenomenal. And I think I haven't mentioned it. He might have been an MIP, honestly, candidate because of what he did. But no one's going to be scared of this team. Jacques Vaughn. And that's because you got $40 million sitting on the bench talking about his back and depression and everything else. So until that contract gets moved, they have like $10 million that they can use. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the free agent market for next season, first of all, $10 million ain't getting you nothing in the NBA anyways.
$10 million ain't shit no more.
It's nothing. And then, like, who's available? No. The thing that Brooklyn needs to hope for is, what are the trades going to be? Are people going to move from east to west again for y'all to give y'all a chance to compete? That's the only way. And when I say compete, I'm not saying top 4, 5, 6. No. You're going to compete to be in the play-in. That's how bad it's going to be. But I agree. They'll need draft picks. They should have got some draft picks when they traded KD anyway. So they should be banking on that because they should have got draft picks from the Suns or whoever else they got them from for all that. And they should have got draft pick. Well, what they get? 1 draft pick for Kyrie? Something. But they got a whole bunch of defense for what reason? Dorian Finney-Smith collecting $14 million a season to do what, ladies and gentlemen? That man plays 35 minutes a game for cardio purposes. And so I'll leave it at that. I'm telling you right now, at this point right now, on this day, April 23rd, 2023, the ceiling for the Brooklyn Nets as constructed is the 10th seed in the play-in. That's their ceiling.
With no means to get better unless they make a trade. And nobody trading for your side pieces. I need the main dish. Like, I need Mikal Bridges. Really, that's it.
That's it. That's it.